was solo. You to go do lost.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is July 14th, 2020. This is episode number 13
Yes.
of the Mo Banter podcast. I am Mo.
I am Nathan.
Hello, Nathan. So it's been about a week and a half since we've done this. Reason being is since we started the collaboration here, we started focusing on our, I don't know if you want to say passion or our very much enjoyment of GSL Starcraft.
Yeah.
So we decided, summertime, GSL, Father-Son podcast is focused on that interest. And if people like it, awesome. And if not, I have a buzzing in my ear. That's the reason why I have a buzzing in my ear. I don't know why I unplugged that. I don't know why I unplugged it. I should have just left it plugged in. Did you hear the buzzing in your ear? I was like, what the hell is going on? I thought like I raised the volume or something. Anyways. Damn, I lost my train of thought.
Something GSL.
Oh, GSL, since we're both into it, I figured, we'll focus on that. People who don't like it, whatever. It's for us, really. It's for us to have fun with. So the last time we left off, it was after Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
We had just finished the last round of 14.
Yeah.
And then they did... No, we still had pools to go. We even do the thing for the pools. We didn't even talk about anything else because we're kind of far behind.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had 2 pools left.
Yeah.
And then it was
the
nominations.
Yeah.
Then so we're way behind.
All right. That was all in one
the
day.
nominations were kind of long though.
Yes. There was
an hour and 15. We don't need to get through that. We'll recap the nominations and then we'll talk about the pools.
Yeah.
And then I think we should wager some money on who gets the better pools between us.
I'm fine.
So we'll do July Madness.
Yeah.
We'll do our version of brackets.
Yeah.
Since brackets were no longer a thing. Okay, we'll do brackets here. It's just a 2-man bracket. And if you want to join at any given time, feel free. We'll grandfather you in. We'll figure out a way to prorate for the trees that you come in as. You might still have a shot if you come in next week.
Yeah.
Or after this. Today's Tuesday. Saturday. If you come in before Saturday, you might have a shot.
Yeah.
Because these are all opening pools. Yeah. After this is I think you're a little bit too far behind.
Yeah. At that point, it's the round of 8.
Well, it'll be round of 12 into round of 8. Because no, there's one poll. It's 4 polls.
16.
It's 4 polls again.
Yeah.
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 So, but I mean, if you come in after 2, anyways, if you want in on the action as far as when you guys hear what we're actually doing, feel free to email us with your picks at mobanterpodcast@gmail.com. That's moebanterpodcast@gmail.com. Or if you guys just want to ask us questions about anything, and the family out there listening, you guys want to throw out a question, or you guys want to throw out a comment. I know we always crack jokes at each other. Let's share that weird ass love with the rest of America and let them know what's good with us. All right. So let's get started after the long ass introduction.
Yep.
Shut up, Dad.
No, I'm
all right. So Pool E. So we watched Pool E and Pool F. Okay, cool. So GSL 2020 Season 2 Pool E. For this one, it was Maru and Prince. Maru playing Terran, Prince playing Protoss, and Scarlet and Armani, both Zerg players. So match 2 was ZVZ. All right, cool. So when it came down to Maru and Prince, it looks like a lot of the games were short. So I'm going game 1. Prince starts with Cannon Rush, doesn't wall, and Maru's units. Maru counters with 2 Marines, 1 Cyclone. GG, Maru wins. Yeah. Did he try to... Oh, I remember this. We were like, oh my god, it's so cheese.
Yeah.
And they even told him, wall it in so like the SCVs can escape.
Yeah.
And like literally he killed like maybe 3 or 4 on the way out. But then that's all dead real estate because they had to stay there. If he would have just added like another pylon and another photon cannon right there, like at the door.
Everything escaped.
Yeah. If he would have just added a pylon on top cannon at the bottom. Maybe. Oh, you alright?
Yeah. Little gas.
Yeah, don't be dying.
I'm not dying.
All right, cool. Anyways,
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, then he didn't wall him off.
He didn't wall him off.
And then Mario was like, "Well, I'll just rebuild here." And
he didn't even have to rebuild. He just lifted off and moved.
He did, right?
Yeah, that's the beauty of Terran.
That's right, Terran, because he just lifted everything over. He's like, "Oh, lift."
He couldn't do
fuck?
anything.
Just blast off. All right, yeah. Then Mario wins that. So Mario's up 1-0. Game 2, Prince rushes into charge lots, does great damage, but is defended. Mario Scott realizes the situation. F that. GG.
Yep.
So what was that? Is that after
Prince tried to cheese with a warp prism? I think he built a dark shrine this game because he did like 2 DTs and a buttload and a charge lots. Try and ravage the main. Yeah. But he didn't have a big frontal army.
I do remember that. He does defend it. And then, I forgot how it is that Mario scouted the situation. But I remember him going, I'm bye.
This is not.
That was a short one.
Yeah.
And then game 3, Mario starts with the Hellion drop, getting 11 probes, invested into Stargate Tech. Mario follows up. Push is Marine, 2 tanks, 2 Vikings. Mario wins.
Yeah.
That's basically off of the Hellions doing all that damage in the beginning. And he didn't need much because it took everything to defend. That was easy. Okay, so then we move on to match 2, which was a mirror match. So let's take this out. I'm gonna take this out because I want to give her credit. So I hate ZVZ.
Yeah.
I completely hate ZVZ. Out of all the mirror matches that I've ever seen in the history of Starcraft, even going back as far as Brood Wars, I hate ZVZ mirror matches. And I hate them.
You're saying that as a Zerg player.
As a Zerg player, I hate ZVZ matches.
What happened with how did TVT get interesting?
Because TVT you can still so the beauty of, I guess, Terran as a whole is that Terran can start off very differently depending on how. I think Terran have the most opening options.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
Just because of the ability to float buildings, to do stuff like nothing is the biggest thing you give up early on is not even the resources or the buildings or the units. It's the positioning. You know, because if you have a proxy Rex per se, that's something that you don't have there for defense. The wall, you got to invest into bunkers, which as Terrans, you build one, it lasts, it does its duty. Bunkers are how people should on the Zerg should look at spine crawlers and spores.
Yes.
That's the way they should look at it. Yes, I understand it's an initial investment, but what you spend in that saves you money. Yeah, you can't recycle it per se, but they're always handy. You just never know. You just never know when that extra bit of DPS from one of these things is going to be the defining factor in something protecting your bases.
And the beauty of those is you can move them.
Exactly. If you spread creep, which most Zergs do, I don't understand why you wouldn't want these. Because, like, imagine, like, you have a strong, let's say, like, infantry tank. You put some spines in the front, build a little wall. Like, it's already picking at the damage. Even if a Marines were to blast through it and, you know, like, get picked off, that extra bit of health is energy that the medevac doesn't have for the bigger fight, doesn't have a lot. You know, whatever the case may be.
And it's life that the Marines can use to stem.
Exactly. That's why, so that's why I hate this match. Because you don't see none of that interesting type of tactics. It tends to become
Roach Ravager.
Either now it's Roach Ravager. Before it used to be like Rush to Roaches, or you cheese early on and you like do a strong like bailing attack early on,
or a 6-pool.
And that's when a lot of the spreading kind of became a thing, because early on it was like, you do like early on was 6-pool, whatever the case. It's just, to me, it's just always
horrible.
One of the builds that you know is going to pop up because there's no variation. You can't vary it as a Zerg because you don't have a really good way to keep enemy units out of your base. You know, again, we can do spine crawlers, but a spine crawler is only going to go so far if you go complete bailings or you do some crazy whatever the meta is. Spine crawlers are good, but not early on against a bunch of fucking Zerglings. They're just not.
That is no.
Even with the queen there, maybe if you have some Banes, I can kind of see that, but again, it's not knowing. You don't get early scouts into tech with Zerg versus Zerg just because the overlords are so slow. The drones do go over there. most likely you won't see anything out of the ordinary. Maybe, perhaps. I don't know. Anyways, I hate this matchup. Damn, I should edit some of that out.
No, it's fine. That was like a 5-minute rant on CVZ.
Well, anyway, so CVZ. Okay. So, I hate this match. And then, so we watch this match, and it becomes, let me see, Scarlet goes for bailing drop. Get 16 drones or money counters with Nidus into Scarlet's main with 16 of his own. Mass roaches, Scarlet defends. Scarlet follows with roach drop, getting 12 more drones or money counters with multi-pronged roach attack, including another Nidus attempt into Scarlet's main. Scarlet defends again. GG. And then number 2 was pretty standard opening. Armani hides Spire Tech, hits immediate timing. Scarlet has no defense. Armani wins. GG. So then now it's tied 1-1. And to recap game 1 a little bit, because I know I won't kind of fast on that because I have to make up for time. Basically, it was just kind of how you expect Zerg versus Zerg to go with the timings that both of these players hit and the damage that they did is kind of how it goes. You do this damage and you don't really recover from it. But in this time, you were getting a counter attack, or you got a hit, a counter hit, another counter hit, followed by another counter hit that was then defended properly, causing, like a victory there.
It's just a game of tennis.
Maybe even a little bit of chess. Chess.
Yeah.
Like, it's about positioning and doing, like, the proper skills and the proper hits at that point to kind of put yourself in a nice position to, like, win. So, the game 1 was actually really good. And if you guys want to watch any of the games that we talk about, they're free on YouTube off the Africa.tv page. It's AFREECA.tv page on YouTube. Go watch them there. They always post them like literally like the next day or within like a couple hours of them showing. They're already on their video on demand. That's how we watch it. We'll be up tonight watching that. Okay, then both start game 3. Both start expand first. Scarlet makes proxy third at Armani's 4th. Scout it, nothing happens. Armani techs into mutas. First wave gets defended, but Scarlet doesn't wall off properly. Armani gets in with Lings. Now Lings causes good damage. GG, Armani wins. And I think she went for some cheese here to try to get like drones into Armani's expansion or base really quick, and it got scouted early on. Because
creep is universal between Zergs.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, she expanded outwards to his, what was this, his 4th? Because of the map, the way it was positioned, it was your main, like at the top position, and then right off a little island is your 2nd, and then off to the bottom was your 3rd, so it's kind of like a connecting. And then there's this long alleyway, like a mesa or a platform that goes basically across your own path. But like, really, there's no reason for you to even be over there unless you're going to expand that way mid game. And she tried to put one there, which was out of position, which was fine. Problem is that it got scouted and there was no damage done. And at that point, it's one of those things. If this thing could fly or like turn into creep and then like slither its way ass back home, it wouldn't be that bad. But you're in a bad position now because you just invested, what is that, 300 minerals?
Yes. Here's another thing I don't get about Zergs. If your opponent's going air, why don't you just go for Hydras? They're much better anti-air than mutas.
Hydras don't have the range. That's always been my takeaway from it. Like, just the reason why you don't see them is, one, they're as soft as mutas, but they do high number DPS. But the problem is, the damage doesn't bounce like mutas do.
Yeah.
So like with mutas, I think they get 3 hits altogether at that bounce. So when you have 16 mutas, you do 16 times 3 hits. I think 2 and 3 hits actually do scale. But the mutas, I think, have a slightly faster DPS, but 16 hits is 16 hits. That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the biggest reason. Plus, you don't have the mobility with Hydras because they're really slow off a creep. Or like Mutalists, they're flying units. So you just get better bang for your buck. The reason to make Hydras is to convert them into lurkers. That's the only
Oh,
reason.
yeah,
They're
lurkers. Lurkers are
cannon
a thing
fodder.
now,
Like maybe
again.
early defense. If you see like something like mass air coming, they're really really good against like all air tech or mostly air tech. But other than that's like get some convert up to like lurkers, and that's pretty much
Yeah.
it. Okay, so game 3 for that was Armani wins. So she expanded. It got scouted. Armani was like, "Oh, I got mutas now because now technically he's a hidden resources because that's 300 resources. That slows down everything. Slows down tech just immensely for the Zerg to get nothing out of it." Yeah, that's pretty much how that was. She was never able to recover, and she lost. She winds up going to losers. Match 3 was Maru versus
Armani.
which was a ZVZ. I have these were short games. I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, damn, these were short games. Maru rushes to 4 BCs and 1 liberated, kills 20 drones. Follows up with three battle cruisers and Hellions. Yeah, that sounds like a stomping. Just
It did. It was.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. It sounds ugly.
Battle cruisers, man.
Damn, that's messed up. Maru standard opening times Marine medevac 2 tanks 4 Hellions. Great positioning, gets expansion. GG. It was a small push, but it was something that Armani really literally had nothing. I think it was like 2 queens, 3 queens, and a couple Zerglings, and that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe a spike that finished building like when it was already like 90% there or something. Maybe. But they almost killed that one Marine though with the 10% left. Stabbed that motherfucker good.
Spines people.
Again, if it was even this match, I just know that a Marine got stabbed by a spine. That is true in all of StarCraft. Maybe not this game, but it happened in some game. So then match 4, loser semi, Scarlet versus Prince. Prince starts with Cannon Rush, sustained pressure, GG Prince. So that was a short Cannon Rush game. And then game 2, Prince attempts Archon drop at 7 minutes. Scarlet defends fairly well. Scarlet shows up with mutas at 9 minutes, kills 20 some probes. Prince attempts a timing counter. Scarlet defends. Another timing push by Prince at 12 minutes. Defended again.
Scarlet is ridiculous on the defense.
She really is. She is. Her defense is crazy. Prince at 14 minutes tries another attack, unaware of lurkers, takes damage. Scarlet defends again. At 17 minutes, Scarlet attempts an attack. Prince defends. At 19 minutes, posturing between both. But Scarlet gets key Viper adducts on 3 carriers.
Yeah, I remember this.
And then Prince engages, loses army. GG Scarlet wins. Yeah. This was actually a really good match. I do remember this match. I thought she was going to lose a lot of times.
But Abduct has a ridiculous range.
But it's rare when you see it, though. And it's just like it came at a good time. Both timings, she invested really good behind her defenses. Because she, like, the one thing I do like about Scarlet in that particular match was there were many times where she finished ahead. Mm-hmm. And I think she could have finished right there and then. But I think she was just unsure of the situation. So instead of being unsure and just kind of going to 200 and going to 200 and going, okay, now I'm on the counterattack and possibly win. She escaped that possibility and just kind of kept her army back, knowing, well, I defended them once. I have enough to defend, and she just invested some more into like tech damage and everything else. That's how she was able to get the Vipers to do all this like everything that happened in that like 19-minute was because of the 5 minutes of defense she played prior to that engagement, and that was like sweet timing right there. That was really nice. That was a good game, and that game was awesome. Again, you can watch this on the YouTube page at Africa.tv. That's AFREECA.tv. They are not a sponsor of this show.
No.
But if y'all want to be, I mean, we'll do it for shirts. I think for the rest of this season. We can do shirts. Maybe give us a mask. That's if it even comes in now with everything that's crazy. Anyways, I don't want to talk about that. Starcraft time. Happy place. Game 3, Prince tries DT rush. DTs are Dark Templars. These are stealth units that pretty much one-shot almost everything available early on in the game. So Prince tried a DT rush, unsuccessful. Scarlet counters with Swarm Host, consistent harass for about 3 minutes. Prince attempts counter, nothing there. GG, Scarlet wins. This was a really fast match.
Yeah.
I do remember just the Locust just doing so much damage.
Swarm Host Nidus against the Protoss is ridiculous.
That was so good.
You can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah, that was and then Prince tries something and he couldn't do anything. So Scarlet winds up winning that, and now it's a mirror match between Scarlet and Marnie, which again, ZVZ, I hate Zerg versus Zerg, and I won't go into it again because it's already, I don't have another 5 minutes of it, but I do. Game 1 or money goes for Roach Ravager Ling. +1 carry space at 6. Scarlet defense. Scarlet follows up with Mass Roach Ravager. GG. Scarlet wins. Again, how it kind of goes. You kind of go for this quick tech and hope that you do killing blow damage. Because if not, it's more of the lack of defense. When you do this as a Marine or as a Protoss, the Zerg can't defend and be like, okay, cool, I have time here to push. I have the ability to push now. Because there's walls there. They have, whatever, Raxus, Pylons, whatever race you happen to play, they have an ability to keep Zerglings from getting into your base after a defense. Not so in ZVZ. ZVZ, it's like, okay, I defend it, cool. It's going to be a while for them to get whatever it is. At the meantime, I can have all my units just fly across the stage, and it's a more volatile matchup. And it should be more exciting to watch. I just don't like it. But we'll get to it. That was like a good minute. Game 2, Armani starts really aggressive, denying upgrades in tech, but Scarlet defends well and techs into mutas is enough. GG, Scarlet wins. And those were 2 quick matches.
Yeah, Group E as a whole was quick.
Yeah, it kind of was. Okay, so now we're going to get to why I've changed my stance a little bit on ZVZ after the 6 minutes of anger I've already recorded on this subject. Scarlet, when it comes to ZVZ, is amazing. From game 1, I would have thought, okay, it's done. Like, she's not gonna move on. It kind of sucks. I kind of want her to move on because I've seen her play for the longest time, and it was like she won, and she won with like the standard stuff, and it led me like to this weird path where like she adapts really, really well, and you see it in all of her matches. She adapts. I honestly think she adapts better than almost any Zerg out there. Any one of them. The only problem is that kind of like a Zerg.
You're vulnerable when you adapt.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like the way that these matches are set up, like 2v3s, or 2 out of 3s nowadays. Because before they used to be 3 out of 5s. And then the finals, as they are now, are 4 out of 7s. But back then, like, almost every tournament had 3 out of 5s. Even like in pools, it was 3 out of 5s. And they shortened it down because Starcraft takes a long ass time. And
now I think it's just a round of 4 that's best of 5.
I believe so. Like to get into the finals, it's like a playoff.
Yeah.
I believe you're right. But like before, pools were 3 out of 5 all the time. But Starcraft is such a long game that if you have games that go to game 5, you're talking about 4 or 5 hours.
For the one set.
For the one set. You know what I'm saying? That's like most people's like 3 pools right there in some of the fighting game tournaments. Plus, money and everything else that kind of influences the space that you're willing to dedicate to something like this. Yeah. So in those older sets, she was very, very adaptable. With these shorter sets, I think she starts picking up things. But by the time she picks it up, she's already out of the tournament. Just because she, it's 2 out of 3, so she already lost twice. Yeah. All right, cool. We're back. I got to edit that out. Mr. Snuffless over here was sniffling up a storm. So in older sets, I think when she made it further into like the 16s, the 8s and stuff, she had already seen so much and absorbed so much that she was pretty good. I think what gets her in the very, very end against like the best players, why I think she never like had like the outbreak success that you see like the Koreans have. It's one, she plays with the Korean crowd and everybody else, I think now, but back then it was very segregated in terms of the tech. Is like Koreans only play with Koreans, only on Korean servers, maybe with other Koreans in other foreign like places that they might reside in, France, US, whatever. But for the most part, it's always Korean, and then the foreigners try to share tech to beat the Koreans. And I think that's when she came to prominence, because she was able to adapt and kind of. But no matter how much play you do on American US service, even if you try to go to Korean service, playing against another top Korean pro, it's got to be a whole like different beast than anything you ever see. So she was never really able to break it out, and now that she's a little bit older, I just feel like if those old rules still existed, now that it seems that Starcraft as a whole, as a community, is seeing that they can no longer be separated. They have to come together in order to allow this game to survive. Because if you kept it just Koreans, just Europeans, just Americans, or separated both of them, or whatever the case may be, the community dies.
Yeah.
Because your best players are gonna be like, well, what the hell am I playing for? To possibly play the Koreans once a year? Like, people get old, they get tired of it. And with the game being low numbered, this is the way I feel. This is opinion. I don't really know. This is all my opinion. I just feel now, with everything as it is, and now that she's a little bit older, a lot of the people are invested into new blood, the young players, the upstarts. And she's kind of lost in this transition. But if you put her in the best of 10, or even like first to 10, not best of 10. So that'd be 6 out of 4. That'd be better. You have to win 6. Because first to 10, you have to win 10. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
That's a best of 21.
Oh my God. That's the best of 19.
Yes. Best of 21 is win 11.
Yes. So anyways, but if you did like a best of 10, I think she'd be able to compete with anybody.
Yeah.
Point blank. I think you would see like, maybe she gets smoked in the first 2, maybe the first 3. But then you'll start seeing her defend better, pick up things better. Maybe she won't win 4 or 5. But she'll make them really, really close. And towards the tail end, I feel like that's when she'll hit like some weird, like crazy timing that she's probably done herself over the years. Some little trick that she knows, hit some weird timing or find a map, and then probably win like 2-3 games or whatever the case may be. But the second half of that, like that set, would be a lot closer than the first half. Yeah. And that's just the unfortunately, that's just kind of the way it is with like her in particular. Like me following her career, that's kind of what I noticed with her. So she makes me like ZVZ a little bit more, just especially in this format. Just because if like with this particular case, it was a ZVZ, but both matches were completely different. Yeah. So that's what I really liked about it, was it was completely different. It wasn't like, well, okay, this is the second time I'm seeing ZVZ. Guess what? It's going to be the same as the first time. And that's how I feel about a lot of ZVZs. This one was different. And, well, I got to give kudos to Scarlett for kind of making me not dread it so much, letting me know that there's like a way to kind of change that matchup just a tad bit. So it's okay. It's okay. It's not hate no more. It's okay. All right, cool. All right. Okay, so Group then F. That was it. So then we're going to Group F. So Maru, Scarlett from Group E go into the round of 16. And then GSL Group F, we have Trap and Patience, which is a PvP, Protoss versus Protoss. And then we had Bunny versus Ragnarok. Bunny being a Terran, Ragnarok being a Zerg. And Terran versus Zerg is actually my favorite match. That's my favorite match. Lore, everything. I love that match. I love that match so much. That's like watching like Ryu versus Sagat, like in the grand finals of a Street Fighter tournament. I was like, ooh, this is canon right here, baby. Or like when it was like Little Gohan and like Cell in like Dragon Ball. Yeah. Dude. You never seen that moment, but that moment is so godlike, man. When he becomes Super Saiyan 2. Woo! Man, so godlike, dude. So godlike. Anyways. Game 1, Trap versus Patience. So it says, damn, okay. So it says Trap starts with proxy warp gate, done, GG. What happened here?
That was like a 4-minute game. I think I remember it. He proxied the warp gate at, I think, it hit at the 3rd. And then just warped in a bunch of stalkers.
Okay. I'm gonna take your word for it because this was like this is almost like 2 weeks ago because
Here,
we haven't done this in a while.
I think I
No,
can
it's cool.
find-
Don't worry about it. Don't
All
worry
right,
about
all
it.
right.
If you guys want to watch it, we're having fun recollecting. If they want to watch it, they can go
They
on
can- yeah.
YouTube, Africa TV.
Still not a sponsor.
Still not a sponsor. All right, and then game 2, Trap starts Proxy Stargate with Oracle, minimal damage to start. Nothing goes. Sorry, Trap starts Proxy Stargate with Oracle, minimal damage to start. Then really does nothing. Goes into normal game. Minor engagement at 12. Disruptor Wars.
Oh
Uh,
yes, that's my
so,
favorite.
So this is when I think both of them had a large chunk of like maybe 4 disruptors, and I think one of the disruptors got a really good hit on the other side. I wish I knew who was who. Again, if you guys want to watch it, go ahead and watch it. But I just remember there being a hit, and because we go
Yeah, it was Trap.
Was it Trap?
Yeah,
Okay. So can you recall that at 12?
yeah, it was on Eternal Empire, I think, and it was the Stalker Disruptor for both of them. And because disruptors are so slow, they just lag behind, and Trap got a good hit.
Okay. So then, damn, I just put goes. I could just want to put somebody's name in here. Do you remember who goes for the DT harassment?
It might be Patience.
Because
I'm pretty sure it was
at the end it
Patience.
says that Patience wins this game.
It was Patience.
Okay.
Because he still had DTs by Trap's base when this whole Disruptor War was happening.
Oh, and then at the back end he like killed a bunch
Yes,
of probes.
yes.
Okay. And then after that harass again, it was Disruptor Wars Part 2. And I think Patience got the better end of those exchanges because they didn't repeat it for a bit. And then it was GG a little bit after, like maybe like 2-3 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So then, so now it's side 1-1. Game 3, Patience starts with Mana Pylon at Trap's Mineral Line. Oh, I remember this play. It was so beautiful. I remember when he trapped the probe between the pylon he had placed and the mineral mine.
Yes,
And
yeah.
the probe was just stuck there for like a cool like minute and a half. Just damn, I felt bad, but yeah, that was a really nice play. So I've never actually seen this before, but Protoss can literally build their like little batteries, they call them pylons, anywhere on the map that's not covered by creep or some sort of like weird obstruction that's part of the map. So they can very well place something at your mineral line if there. Patience was able to fit one of these little crystals in the path of a probe that's harvesting as a harvester and timed it so perfectly. And you gotta understand the timing for this is crazy because you like at this point you at least have 2 probes back and forth between each little mineral lines, what's it called, placement or mineral placement.
Yeah.
And like the math, I don't even know the equations, like none of that. But I'm gonna estimate that you maybe have 10 frames, maybe 10 frames to hit that button. I know like in fighting game tournaments 10 frames is like a lifetime, but in StarCraft 10 frames is pretty close considering the other things you have to be doing at the same time. And at the speed that these guys click the buttons, you could say maybe that helps them, but I don't know. I don't think it does. I think you still have to be pretty precise with it, like to hit that button at the right time to make this happen. But anyways, he makes it happen. And it's a beautiful play. He blocks the harvesting for a while. It was just a dope ass play. Yeah. I spent all this time explaining it because it was just a really dope ass play. I really liked that play. I've never seen it before in the history of like my StarCraft watching, and
ever.
It was really really good. Trap attempted to proxy robo, but defended well by Patience. Nothing really. At 12, War, GG Trap. Okay, so I guess Trap at the end winds up going, okay, well, you did your little thing to me. Doesn't matter. I win. And then match number 2, which is my favorite like lore canon matchup, Bunny versus Ragnarok, which is a Terran versus Zerg. Game 1, Reaper versus Link starts at 8. Bunny, which is a Terran, hesitates on a push, leading to Ragnarok's harassing and upgrading. So I do remember this one, I think a bit. Bunny had a nice army on his side, and Good damage, normalizes for a second. At 12, Bunny hits a nice timing, GG. So it looks like the first part doesn't even matter. Looks like Bunny was able to recover well, and then winds up winning at the end. You have anything?
Nope.
Okay, game 2, Bunny starts a double proxy Rax. Scouted by Ragnarok, drone sent to defend. Bunny tried to build Hellions for harass, but Rag hits an aggressive Roachling timing Ravager, gaming timing, GG. And Ragnarok wins it, so now it's going on to game 3 with tied 1-1. So there was a minor engagement at 7. Fell drop by Bunny at 9. At 10, major fight. Bunny wins? Question mark. At 12 minutes, another fight. Bunny wins the fight, but Rag does. Well, Rag did base damage. Bunny still came out ahead overall, recovering it, but Bunny regroups at 15 attacks. GG, Bunny wins. So it looks like this might have been a cool back and forth matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think recalling that at 10 minutes, I felt like Bunny had won a lot, but I think he was low on resources while Ragnarok still had a nice chunk. So it was one of those other situations where they could have tried to push ahead, but do you risk the army that you have left to a whole new army that the enemy could have? And I think that's what happened there, and Bunny kind of withdrew a little bit and winded up just being further ahead because, again, wasn't overly aggressive. So he winds up winning. So then he goes on to play Trap, match 3, which is a Terran versus Protoss, Bunny versus Trap. Game 1, Trap starts with a good Adept harass and gets a pick on the medevac and 2 Widow Mines. At 5, Trap hits Stalker timing but loses his first Warp Prism. I think I remember this one. At 6, Trap attempts to follow up but is reverse dropped by Bunny, equalizing damage done. At 9, Bunny is the Terran, gets a pick on the Warp Prism, but Trap tries to aggro. It fails. At 11, Trap attempts Zealot harass, defended by Bunny. At 12, Bunny attempts a timing, but is indecisive, allowing Trap to perform another Zealot drop harass. Bunny splits army too much. GG, Trap. So again, I think at this point it was at that same situation that almost cost them the match with Ragnarok. Was where the mutas came across. He could have just gone across if he wanted to, been the aggressive, but he hesitated at that moment. I think that's the same thing that happened right here. He kind of put himself in a bad position. Let me see. And then game 2, at 5, nice timing by Bunny, the Terran, defended by Trap. At 8, Trap misplays an attack. Bunny defends without issue. At 9, Trap goes DT drop, countered by Bunny, held by Trap, but follow up by Bunny too much. GG. So it looks here that Trap at the end tried to counter with a DT drop. It was defended, but there was a counter attack. I can't remember what was the counter attack by Bunny, but it looks like it was defended both ways. And then after that was like a follow-up maybe with some Marines or something.
Yeah.
Don't know. Don't care. It was a quick game. It was done. GG. And then at game 3, again, this is tied 1-1. At 4.5 minutes, nice pick by Trap on Widow Mines and Medevacs. At 6, counter drops by Bunny, causing good.
I mean, yeah.
Trap recovers. It's so much for Trap to recover. GG. Bunny was the first one to move on. Those were short games. Yeah, Bunny was just really good. Bunny was a really good Terran. Then match 4 is the losers. Let me see. This is a Zerg versus Protoss. At 3 minutes, Rag goes into aggro links. Gets nice picks on the structure. Countered by Patience at 5. Adepts back and forth. Recounter. Let's go to the end of this game at 9. Needed to attempt an attack. Let me see. Patience needed to attempt an attack, but was never a threat. So I think Patience tried to attack at 9 and just didn't do anything. Let me see. Sorry, we should probably just go through them. Recounter Nidus by, let me see. So Adepts back and forth. Recounter Nidus by Ragnarok, strong damage and building Econ behind the attack, pulls back after the attack. So the Adepts were doing good damage by Patience. Ragnarok counters with a Nidus Worm drop somewhere. Does pretty good damage. I think he gets like a building or something, maybe a Nexus. He got something really good.
Honestly, it was late and I had woken up early that morning. I was falling asleep.
Yeah, I remember. Me too. That's why I didn't watch the draft because it was the same thing.
Yep.
Building econ. Yeah, he destroys the building, a bunch of econ. So then, he pulled back. Patience tried to do he tried to be aggressive, didn't work because Ragnarok was just ahead. Ragnarok wins that. Number 2 at 4 minutes, adapt to rest by Patience, defended by Rag at 6. Rag hits a strong attack, causing severe damage, recovery, and reattack at 9. It looks like GG Rag won on a really, really short match. Kind of was never really bothered by Patience in this match. I think that's pretty much how that went. That was really, really quick. And then it was a Ragnarok versus Trap, another ZVP. Game 1 at 4.5 minutes. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure it's still recording. Adept harass, nothing really happens. At 7, Trap hits a great timing, gets variable trades. GG Trap wins. I'm gonna assume that was probably like Roach Ravager versus like Stalker Zealots, maybe, or Charged.
Yeah.
And he just got better trades. He winds up winning. So then Trap is up on this 1-0 over the Zerg. Game 2 at 5, sustained action between both begins until 3 minutes. I think this was one of those like early aggressive ones where I want to say that Ragnarok was aggressive here, and then it just kind of went back and forth between both of them. But it looks like they had 3 minutes of fun there. And then at 9, Rag pokes with Mutas, gets nothing out of it. At 10.5, big battle with Trap getting favorable exchanges. At 13, Trap follow up too strong. GG Trap advances. The Protest advances and joins Bunny in the round of 16. And those are the 2 last qualifiers. And after what seems like 45 minutes of talking about this, we've caught up.
Yes.
But that's a lot to kind of go by, and we're going to keep continuing this, but let's kind of, out of those matches, what was your favorite one? I don't think I really had one for this pool.
No.
I think this is one of the most disappointing pools, to be honest.
Yeah.
I saw some big names like Patience and even Trap, and I recall Ragnarok being around from like way back. And then Bunny, like I expected he performed as expected. He whooped everybody's behind, but like the other 3 matches, they were like whatever. It's like they won, really nothing exciting except for like 1 or 2 really close games in some of those sets. But other than that, whatever. Well, anyways, so we went through all the pools. We talked about all the pools that when we started, I guess, doing this. So we missed the first day, right? A and B. We started at C, D.
No.
Or did we do A, B, C,
we did
D,
all of them.
E, F? Oh, you're right. No. Okay, cool. All right, so now all the winners go into the nominations. And the way the nominations works is, and it kind of gave me the idea that we're going to do like a bracket thing here. So the 4 winners from last season who were in the finals last year are seeded 1, 2, 3, 4. Depending on their actual finishings, they get the top seed for basically their region of the pool, their table of the pool. What happened?
It's their seed based on their overall GSL ranking. So from season 1 and the super tournament.
Is that the reason why there was a difference between?
Yeah, because Parting wasn't in the thing.
But he was number 4.
Yes.
So there's a point system there.
Yeah.
Okay, so my mistake. When we come to the standings at the end of that season, overall points from the points taken from the Super Tournament and GSL Season 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so correction. That's why we have a co-host. Damn, that was a lot of red. I'm sorry if I blew at your eardrum.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Not you, them. I control our levels here.
So the four at the top at that point were TY, Cure, Maru, and Innovation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those were the top 4.
Yes.
Okay. So
all Terrans.
All Terrans. All right. So with those 4, based on their standings 1 through 4 on their standings, they are then seated in the brackets 1 through 4. Each one of them are the head of their own personal brackets. So for this one, they broke them down to letters again. There was an A, B, C, D pools, but the victors, the top seeded ones, controlled each one of those pools. So TY is A, Maru, who was?
I think it was TY who was Group A.
No, it was a TY Innovation for Group B, Maru for Group C, and Cure for Group D.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So those guys are the top seeded. They control it. And then the winners of everything that we've talked about in the first 3 episodes are 12 people all together. They go into a drafting pool. And then basically at this point, each region master or each pool head or whatever it is you want to call this guy are trying to make their group more favorable for them. So basically they're gonna pick the person who they're gonna play against, and then the person after that gets to pick a person to kind of be the head or the gatekeeper for the next match, and then that person basically is picking their opponent. So it goes headmaster picks opponent, headmaster's opponent picks like the guard at C, knowing that they could possibly have to play each other in round 2, but at this point it's just who's going to be there to protect that possibility. To make one of that happen, usually it's like a teammate or something, because a lot of these guys are in the same houses.
Yeah.
So usually that person will pick like a teammate, so that way one of their houses has a chance to move on in the pool. But that person has to be strong enough to, to follow somebody to defeat the 4th person that person picks. Because there's always a possibility that 4th person can mess everything up, and we'll get to something that happened with that similar. So that's how this goes. The order, there's 3 rounds. For round 1, it goes A, D, B, C. So it goes from the head of the snake all the way around, so it wraps around. So instead of going through the snake, it goes around the snake. So it's A, D, B, C. And then for round 2, it's D, C, B, A. So it's just complete backwards. And then for round 3, it's A, B, C, D. So in this situation, depending on how you go, it looks like B is probably like the worst. Like finishing second kind of sucks, I would think.
Yeah.
Because you never get a first pick.
Nope.
Like, so A picks first twice. D, which is 4, picks first once. And then at least C gets to pick last. Which is kind of, I don't know, to me, like last pick on a pool is kind of cool because you can, I think from that point you're able to disrupt.
Yeah.
So that was the order of the way you pick. So the top seeds are Season 1's overall point earners from GSL and Super Tournament. At the end of round 3, after everybody's picked the people they want in their pools, they're able to trade off an unseeded player, so a player that's not A, B, C, or D. One of the people they pick, the top seeded player at this point would be TY. He would have the ability to swap. I do remember that.
Yes.
There was a stipulation in which they said that somebody else would be able to use that pick. I think it would have to be like B, C, and D would have to agree to like use it for like a specific player or something like that. But it has to be like a mass majority agreement. If TY had decided not to use it, spoiler alert, if TY had decided not to use it, that if the 3 tables could agree on what players they were to swap and they could unanimously agree, they were able to use it if TY decided not to. I think so. I wanted to go back, but then at the same time I didn't. So don't take my word on how that actually works. But know that the ability to change somebody in one of the groups was there for the top person. And as we mentioned, spoiler alert, it was used. And we'll mention why. Because there was some drama in this. You would think this is like a bunch of nerds, and it kind of was, but it was funny. It was funny. Anyway, so at the end of it, the top seeded player can swap an unseeded player to kind of more make his bracket again a little bit more favorable in case things don't go to plan. And then let me see. And then top seed were S1. Let me see what else I got here for round 2. Yeah. So just to kind of confirm on the pick, top seeded players are first picks of their particular bracket. First, they pick their opponent essentially, and then their opponent picks the gatekeeper, and then the gatekeeper picks their opponent. So you kind of want to be in pick second or third because getting picked last on each bracket pretty much means that you're an easy victory in the eyes of that table. So it's something that you don't kind of want to have, but at the same time you have a little chip in your shoulder, by all means. So that's how that went all the way through. So with Group A, this was the most interesting group.
Yes.
Because this was the group that had all the drama. All of the drama was based on this table. So for Group A matches will take place tonight, actually, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Or again, you can watch them on Africa TV, but the schedule is pretty much Wednesdays and Saturdays. In Korean time, which would be early Tuesday morning, Friday prime time hour, our time. So we'll go with that. So Group A, 7:15 tonight, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Korean Standard Times, 2 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. It's TY, Scarlet. So TY is a Terran, Scarlet a Zerg, Special a Terran, DRG a Zerg. This was after being swapped for stats from Group D. So
yes.
Spoiler on who's in Group D, if you don't already know. So TY picked Scarlet, and at the beginning of this, TY had said, I want my table to be kind of like a foreigners table or like a multicultural table. So his plan was already to get Scarlet in Special.
Yes.
Scarlet is from Canada, Special is from Mexico.
The only other foreigner was Estrella, an American Protoss.
Yes, and he finished short. But good player. He'll be back. He's a good player.
For Season 3?
I don't know for Season 3, but I think you'll hear more of him. He's a really good player. So TY picks Scarlet. Scarlet picks Special. So everything's going to plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this big thing, hoopla about who's going to get picked here. I forgot who TY initially wanted, but the one thing that he didn't want any Protoss in his bracket. He wanted no Protoss. None whatsoever. None.
I forgot why, but
he
didn't.
He doesn't like that matchup. He says he doesn't like it, so he just didn't want a Protoss player. So what does Special do? Special picks your Protoss player in stats. TY looked angry.
Fairly good Protoss.
Everybody was wearing masks, and he looked angry. He looked upset. So we'll come back. So that was the end of that. DRG will swap for stats.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to that.
Keep in mind, when the thing first started, TY said that if he did swap, he would swap DRG.
Yes, he did say that. And we'll get to the drama of why that's important. Group B, which will take those matches will take place July 18th, Saturday, 1 p.m. Korean Standard Time, or which is a Friday, 9 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time here in the West Coast. So midnight in the East. If you're somewhere else around the world, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do time outside of the U.S. I apologize. But those are the two times that you have to compare. For Group B, it was Innovation as a Terran, Dark as a Zerg, Bunny as a Terran, and Parting as a Protoss. That is a really good group. I am excited to see that group. That group is going to be really, really good. I think that's probably... I think the winner of that group is probably going to be a favorite to take the championship.
Yeah,
I really do, because you're gonna get rid of possibly the strongest Zerg if you win this. Top 3 Terran and Bunny.
Bunny.
Well, Bunny is in that pool.
Yeah, I know, but so is Innovation.
Yeah, Innovation picked,
Dark
Innovation picked
Bunny.
Dark picked Bunny.
And Bunny picked Parting.
And yeah, exactly. So, but I'm saying overall, it's like, what do you think Bunny is, like top 3 Terran?
Something like that.
And then Parting at one point was the best Protoss. The best Protoss.
Like SOS tier Protoss.
Yeah, he was the best Protoss. At one point in his career, he was the best Protoss. Innovation is sick. He's such a good player.
He's the creator of the mecha meta.
Yeah, essentially. I do remember when he was rocking that mecha meta. Dark has been possibly the best Zerg in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
From what I'm hearing, because I mean we haven't really watched, but from what I'm hearing, Dark has been probably the best Zerg in the last 2 years. Has been the best. Bunny again, we said top 3. I don't know, man. That's nuts.
Bunny, yeah.
That's bonkers. I think that's insane. I'm so excited for that. So then Group C, which is next Wednesday again. Next Wednesday, July 22nd, 6:30 p.m. Korean Standard Time, which is 2 a.m. PDT West Coast time. That's Maru, Solar, Trap, Dream, and that's Maru as a Terran, Solar as a Zerg, Trap as a Protoss, Dream as a Terran. I think it's gonna be kind of standard. I honestly think Trap and Maru come out of that. I like Solar. I don't see him being able to beat Maru. And
Dream, same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
I think Dream and Maru get to loser semis or loser finals.
Losers match.
Well, yeah, they get to losers match, and I think they're gonna wind up losing. But we'll roll through that, and then the last group for the pools of the round of 16 would be Group D, which will be the following Saturday, July 25th, at 1 p.m. Korean Standard Time. Friday, 9 p.m. PDT, and people for that are Cure, Stats, Zest, Rogue. Cure as a Terran, Stats as a Protoss, Zest as a Protoss, Zerg, Rogue as a Zerg, and Stats, as we mentioned, was swapped.
Yeah.
For DRG.
For DRG.
In Group D. So let's go back to the drama. DRG was upset
That he got picked for Group D?
He got picked. He got plucked from Group D to Group A. He was upset because he, at this point, and I think him and TY have like a very, I want to say, volatile relationship. Like, I think they're like frenemies from what I can gather from them. Like, they respect each other. They can be around each other. But I think it's just like if one person says the wrong thing to the other, like, they're just not friends at that moment. And that's how it seemed like this was, because DRG seemed to be offended at the fact that TY would pick him. Because then he said it makes it look like he thinks I'm a weak opponent.
Ooh.
That's the way he took it. That's what he said.
I can already imagine. If TY drops a mana mule when he's playing DRG.
I mean, and then the thing is, like, if DRG is mad, Special was first, and Special's the one that caused all of this.
Yeah.
All Special had to do was pick somebody that was not a Protoss. He could have even picked. I think he could. Was DRG still on the list or no?
No, DRG was the first to be picked.
He was.
He
right.
He got picked by. Who was it? Cure.
Yeah, you're right. He got picked by Cure. Okay, yeah. So then they got swapped.
Because at that point it was Stats, Parting,
I think
Dream, and Rogue.
Yeah. Yeah, so he could have picked Rogue and been fine.
Yeah.
So now within that group, TY hates Special. DRG hates TY. Special made everybody angry. And Scarlet's just there like, all right, cool. I guess this is happening. It's gonna be so fun to see this.
Yes,
tonight. It's gonna be.
I'm
so
excited.
Fun. I think Group B is gonna be
the strongest.
The strongest
coming out.
But Group A is gonna be the fun because of all the drama. All right. Cool.
Oh man.
So we spent a nice chunk.
And everyone, I think it was like Bunny or somebody kept calling Special. Like once he called Special Chubby Boy.
Oh yeah,
like this Chubby Boy is gonna be me.
Yeah, hey, the shit talking was real with these Starcraft athletes, man. It was crazy. Okay, cool. So we went through that. The one thing. Oh, this is what I wanted to play.
I did make little brackets.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Oh, you made them too?
Yeah, I made two.
Nice. Okay, cool. We'll do this and then I'll get them down on paper. Okay, so
here's a pencil.
Give me that pen right there. I'll take that.
This is a Sharpie.
All right, that's fine. I'll take the Sharpie. Doesn't matter.
So, this is the actual setup from what I've seen from Season 1. It's super weird.
All right, well, let's not talk about the setup. Let's just talk about who we're going to pick out of the thing first.
All
so,
right.
for today's, we have Group A.
Yeah.
This is the brackets. This is the bracket part of the show.
Yeah.
So, Group A is TY as a Terran, Scarlet as a Zerg, Special as a Terran, and DRG as a Zerg. So they're going to work the same, correct?
Yeah.
They're going to be playing each other, and then the winners play each other. The losers play each other. The winner of that plays the loser of the winners match.
Plays
correct?
the winner of the losers match.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's the same way as we have mentioned it.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
I mean, I have to say TY.
TY.
I don't.
Emerging from the winners match.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna come out in winners.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's A1, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
First, emerging from the winners is A1. Emerging from the final match is A2.
Oh, damn! This is gonna make it a little bit more difficult then.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me do this. Let me
Yeah.
put them right here before I actually see who's gonna come out and what.
So yeah.
I say TY will come out.
Yeah, and then for the losers match, I think Special's gonna be first out. I just don't see a world.
Okay, so
where
you
Special
think
makes
so? You
it.
think DRG is gonna play Special?
Yes. No.
Okay.
What? Yes.
So So you think DRG is gonna beat Special, and you don't see Special winning. So then at
No.
that point, it would be TY versus DRG. Do you see TY beating DRG if that's
Yeah.
the case?
Yeah.
Okay, so TY for you comes out of winners.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless DRG pulls something out, like of all that anger he built up out of the swap, just pulls
Okay.
out some cheesy build like Brood Lords or something. I don't see him winning against the champion.
Okay. So you got TY coming out of winners.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree with you, but I want to run it before I confirm. So okay, so that means Special and Scarlet would play each other.
Yeah. And I see Scarlet just whooping Special. I don't see. Because Scarlet beat a Terran to get. Or no, Scarlet. No.
No,
Scarlet.
she beat Protoss.
In the loot. Oh.
No, she beat Armani to get into it.
Yeah.
It was a mirror match. She
And-
beat a Protoss to get to that match and then beat a. So she hasn't had a Terran fight in a while.
In a while. Since.
Okay, so whatever she's been playing online, if
I
that's
think
the
it,
case.
it's the round of 16 in season 1. I don't know who she played. I didn't follow that, but.
Let me see.
I don't know.
Let me go back really quick. I just want to make sure. She was the first one she was one of the first ones, right?
Yeah. But if she.
Oh, no, wait up. Sorry, she played Maru.
Ah.
She lost to Maru
She-
in the first one.
Was it a 2-0?
Oh, sorry, that was not it. Because this is the wrong
It was
one.
Prince. Yeah, it was Prince.
Scarlet and Prince. Yeah, Scarlet and Prince. And then it was
Scarlet Armani.
Armani. Yeah. So
Maru came out of it.
Yeah, but she didn't even get to play him.
Yeah. But
Okay, so
here's the thing. I feel like Scarlet could hold her own against Maru, make it a 2-1. She wouldn't have won. Maru's too good. But I think she can defend, like, with the way she defended Armani's multi-pronged attack with all the Niduses.
I'm saying she's that type of player.
Yeah.
That in this format, it doesn't work, and that's the only reason why she, like, to me, in her pull, she's the one that kind of she could be like the thing that kind of throws everything out of alignment.
She's the dark horse of Group A.
Literally, with training, if there's a training partner that's similar to TY and just the play style and possibly close to like the timing execution, I think she can beat TY. If she practice, I think she can beat TY. But I don't know if I'm fully ready there to back her.
I honestly
all
don't.
the way.
I'm not even counting my chickens. I'm just saying screw it and saying that TY is winning over Scarlet. I'm not saying what, but I can't see any world where Scarlet beats TY.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that means Scarlet goes to play Special.
Yeah. And
I think Scarlet can beat Special, but the problem is that Special plays a little bit different, and if she's not prepped for it, she's gonna get caught off guard. And that's the way people seem to kind of beat her early on, especially with no experiences. They catch her off guard. So it's
close.
I'm gonna trust my girl to beat that.
Yeah.
So and then it goes to DRG versus Scarlet.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like Scarlet might pull out the no regret special, which is 14 gas, 13 pool, 12 hatch, and then just rush. But DRG also had a thing like that. He made like 30 Zerglings and just rushed them. So
Who do you think wins that?
I don't know. It's cheese on cheese. I'm seeing game 1 is cheese, but if Scarlet wins game 1, then she could cheese again and win it. 2-0. She did it against Rogue.
You think she comes out in losers?
Yeah. I think she comes out and loses against DRG.
That's close. All right, I think you got me. So all right, cool. I think you've convinced me of that. I don't know why. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So we got TY
And we got Scarlet.
and we have Scarlet. Whoops. All right, cool. So that's out of Group A.
Yeah. Group B, Innovation, Dark, Bunny, and Parting.
This one's probably the hardest one.
Yeah.
But you know what? The same.
So many
No.
heavy hitters.
This is probably gonna be the hardest
Yeah.
one. This is the rest of the show. Yeah, like we're not gonna talk about anything else. So if
Yeah.
you don't want to hear Starcraft, this is literally a bracket show. This is all about Starcraft. This
Yeah.
episode. I had other things to talk about, but we can wait that for episode 14. So Starcrafting is not your thing. Exit now. Thank you. We come back for episode 14. Thank you very much. This has been the Mo Banter podcast, episode 13. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. But if you want to stay.
Part B. Let's go.
Part B.
All
Alright.
right. So Group B. I don't know, man.
This is hard. I want to back Parting, but there's a lot of heavy hitters. Alright, so I say that the losers match, or the winners match rather, is Innovation versus Bunny.
So you have a TV2. You got them
Yeah.
beating the Zerg and
Yeah.
the Protoss.
And out of that, I want to say Bunny beats Innovation,
I can see that.
right?
I can see that. I can. Bunny is a really, really good player.
Yeah. The only thing that might shut him down is if Innovation goes, like, full mech against, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to imagine Innovation winning the set. So I say Bunny comes out of the winners match.
Okay, so you have Bunny coming off first.
Yeah.
See, I want to go the opposite way. I think that there's so much pressure in this group that I think the Zerg and the Protoss can actually win their first matches.
Really?
I really do think that. I really do think that.
You think the losers match will be a TVT?
I think for the situation how everything is right now, I think this is Parting's perfect chance to come back.
Really? As the top Protoss?
Maybe not the top Protoss, but good enough to possibly win this group. And the reason why is because I don't know if maybe the fan got to him a little bit, or maybe the crowd as he started playing bigger and bigger venues. Maybe he started like experiencing some anxiety or something. But not really. What's the difference between playing in the studio and playing in your bedroom? There's literally no difference.
It's just
It's super
more
quiet.
flashy.
There's some people like walking around. There's literally no difference.
It's you, your opponent, the camera crew, and the commentators. That's it. And you can't even hear
Yeah, exactly.
anything.
Like for season 1, when somebody won, we're like, this feels strange.
Yeah. No one.
But do I?
I don't know.
All right, so you have Bunny coming out. Okay, so
Yeah.
I can see both of them losing. You know what? I'm gonna call it. I want to say that Dark beats Innovation and the Parting beats Bunny. And then so for me, it would be Dark Parting.
The winners match. And out of that, who comes out?
Damn! After I just praised him, I'm gonna say he's gonna lose
To Dark?
Is my Zerg?
Is
my Zerg like bias so deep that I would just be like Dark.
My Protoss bias isn't. I can see Dark beating Parting.
Nah, you know what?
But
I don't like Protoss, but I remember Parting coming up, and he was a big part of like us like watching this together. So I want him to kind of have a good showing. So I'm gonna say Parting comes out of it. I want to say Parting comes out on the top side of that, so B1. So I would have that to be Parting.
So the first full match of
Would
the
be
round
the
of
bottom
8.
one, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So that means the first match of the round of 8 is for you, Scarlet versus Parting. For me, Scarlet versus Bunny.
That's the first match.
Yeah, first full match because we haven't covered B2 yet.
Oh, okay. So then, I mean, I guess for your
For
losers.
me, it's losers, and I'm thinking the same thing. Parting's gonna beat Dark. Like, I mean, Party made it to top 4.
So all right, so hold on. So let me recap here really quick. So on your losers, you have Dark and Parting. At this point, Bunny has already
Yeah.
gone through, right? So you have Bunny coming out winner. So now we're talking about your loser side. So that means Innovation is at the loser finals.
Yeah.
And then this is the losers match between Dark and Parting.
Yes.
The first. Okay, cool.
Okay.
And then the winner of this would go play Innovation for the last spot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
All right.
So you said you have
I don't.
Parting beating Dark.
Yeah.
So then
honestly,
this is Dark
yeah.
versus
So Dark
Innovation.
is first out.
Dark is first out. So
Yeah.
now it's
Parting versus,
Parting versus
Innovation. And out of it, both of these people made top 4. Parting didn't beat Parting faced Cure. You know what? It's super close. Honestly, it's really close, but I feel like Parting has enough tricks up his sleeve to win against Innovation.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have him coming out of losers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that means the second match in B2 for me is TY versus Parting.
I feel like I messed up my bracket here. Why did I put Bunny? I have
You put
Parting
Bunny.
coming
You
out.
have-
All right, let me fix this. I had Parting coming out of this.
Did you? I think you saw mine.
I think I did. I copied myself into a wrong answer. You ever done that before? No, I mean, you were the smart kid. I tried it once, and then I wound up getting a lower grade by cheating. Than
I did
by
get
my own.
accused of copying once.
Yeah, me too.
It's anyway.
That's the world.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so for you, your losers match is Innovation versus Bunny.
yes. That would be my losers match. I think out of all the matchups that he knows the best, I think TVT is probably his strongest matchup. Innovation.
Okay.
So I say Innovation moves on over Bunny in that
Okay.
situation.
So Bunny's first out for you.
So Bunny is first out for me. Even though I think he's top 3. It's something about the other 3 players in this particular group that had me thinking that he's gonna be the first one out.
Okay.
I think he'll put up good matches. I think every single match that's not a cheese match will be fabulous.
Yes.
Will be absolutely fabulous. Fabulous. Like so much so. So Bunny's first out for me, so that goes to Innovation and Dark.
Yes.
I can see Dark beating Innovation.
Really?
I can, because it's not like he's invulnerable to, like, the thing is, Innovation has a habit of, he does crush Zergs, but at the same time,
Dark can crush Terran?
it's not so much that he can crush him. I think he can withstand him. I think that he plays smart enough. He knows how to play with enough tech. Like, he's not just like a one-trick pony. Like, he's not just going to depend on Ravagers and Roaches to get the damage done. Or, like, I think, like, he's the type of player that will come out with, you know, like, the Hive Tech and Broodlords and Vipers and
Ultras.
Yeah. And, like, he can do it if it gets to that point. Like, he's not shy of going towards that tech.
Yeah.
Damn, man. But you know what? As good as he is, though, again, something about this pool that just lets me to believe that, I don't know, like, I think out of everybody who I want, because I said the winner of this will probably, like, have a good chance at it, and I want Dark to be there, but I think he just got screwed. I honestly think he got picked at,
Yeah.
and he got picked at the wrong pool to come up ahead, because that's a lot of heavy heat right there.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't work out the way that I think, I just don't think he can beat 2 of those people back to back. I don't think he's that consistent of a player to beat those 2 people, like, people of that caliber back to back. I could be completely wrong, and no disrespect. That's just how I feel about that situation. So I have Dark being out and Innovation being the second one.
Yeah.
out. So I have
Alright.
Party Innovation coming out of that pool.
So yeah, at this point our brackets are different, very different.
Very much so. Okay,
Alright.
so
Now I get to Group C.
hold on. Let's recap because these are going to be the people that play each other first, correct? So that means this would be the Tuesday pool.
Yes.
For the first one. Okay, so at this point, A, B will play each other, or the winners of A and the winners of B will play each other first in that group.
Yes.
So A and B will become one group by themselves. And I have TY playing Innovation, which is a TVT, and then I have Scarlet playing Partying, which is a ZVP.
Yeah.
What do you have?
I have TY facing Parting, a TVP, and Scarlet facing Bunny.
Talking to your mic.
Oh, a Scarlet facing Bunny, a...
No, go again and repeat it.
Okay, I have TY facing Parting, a TVP, and Scarlet facing Bunny, a ZVT.
Okay. Okay, so we're kind of going already on different trajectories. Okay, so then again, the same thing will happen with C and D. They become, for the round of 8, they become one group together. The winners of each group will play each other in alternating fashion. So meaning the person that comes out of winner's end on Group C, similar to Group A, would be first match, and he would play the winner coming out of the loser's side from the D pool, and then they flip on the other end. Same thing for A and B, where the winner of Pool D will play the winners from the loser side of Pool C, and the same thing was true with A and B. Sorry we didn't recap that. So okay, for Group C, which is taking place the 22nd at 6 p.m. Korean Standard Time, 2 a.m. Tuesday Pacific Daylight Time. We have Maru, who's a Terran, Solar, who's a Zerg, Trap, who's a Protoss, and Dream, who's a Terran. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right.
So those are the matchups. Alright, so I feel that Maru is just gonna destroy Solar. And Trap versus Dream will be super close, but Trap will be the one to win. So at this point, the winner's match is Maru versus Trap.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that,
America is waiting.
anyway, again, another close one, but again, pretty standard. And if it plays standard, I think Maru is getting out first. That's how I see it. Maru's coming out first.
Okay, so you have Maru coming out first.
And then the losers match is Solar versus Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Dream plays pretty smart, but Solar's more aggressive. And I feel like if he can adapt properly, Solar has a shot. Dream? I don't know. Dream's been doing fairly well against Zergs, I want to say. But Solar's just that tough where I feel like Dream will be first out. So the final match is Solar versus Trap. No. Yes.
That's a rematch from all pools. Weren't they in the pool together?
Yeah.
Okay.
And who came out on top at that?
I think Trap did.
Ooh.
I want to say Trap did. I don't remember because I think it's far back.
I think it's like Group
C or D. I don't know. Well, either way, I think Trap came out on top. I think.
I want to say. Wait a minute. Didn't we just cover? No, that wasn't Trap versus. It was Trap versus Patience, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
That was Solar. Solar was way back.
Yeah, Solar's way back on. Yeah. Okay. You're right.
So, but again, with the way Solar plays, and a lot of things from Zerg hard counter like Stalker Disruptor. Like Zerg's just that type of race. You kill some and they just all come back.
You want to know something really quick? I've been looking at my notes and the way I'm like seeing this stuff.
Yeah.
I legit don't see any Zergs coming out besides Scarlet. And if something changes in the time we discuss this, I don't see any other Zergs. And then Scarlet at that is a stretch for me. I'm trying to back her, and hopefully some of this good aura will make her
you don't
have a good showing.
You don't gotta drain your bias that much.
No, it's not that. It's just these are really strong players.
These are.
That's my biggest issue. Yeah. These are really, really strong players. These are like the best of these classes. Like it's not even like, oh, these guys are like top 8 players, top 10 players who just happen to sneak in. These are really good. Like at some point, these guys were in the top 3, if not the top, at playing their respective races.
Yeah. And even with Skytoss, Zerg just has them on every base. So I honestly don't see Trap coming out of Group C. So the second one out for me is Solar.
So you got Solar coming out of this?
Yeah. Out of the final match, but he is coming out.
Okay. So we have Maru, Solar, Trap. This is going to probably be the toughest one for me to pick. This Maru versus Solar one. Because I think Solar is a very solid player, but Maru's been around for a while. And Maru's really, really strong at playing Terran.
Your brain's hurting?
I'm going to give it to Maru. I think Maru beats Solar. So then we have Trap and Dream. I think Trap takes that.
Easy?
I think it's easy, to be honest. I think it's either going to be easy or it's going to be like a mild inconvenience for Trap to be playing this match.
Okay, so far we're on the same page.
So then we have Maru and Trap. I don't recall Maru having any objections to Trap being picked. And I'm pretty sure the reason why Trap got picked was because Maru wanted Trap to get picked.
Because he thought it would be an easy win?
Well, the way this tends to go is like the person who gets picked after is usually a person that will pick whoever the captain or the leader of that table. That seems to be the politics behind it. Pick me to be in your group, and I'll make sure that I pick whoever you want. And that's kind of like the politics of the first 2 picks.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to be picked last. So I would assume that in Maru versus Trap, the Maru thinks Trap is a little bit easier. But you know what we say about assuming. Yeah, I think Maru comes out. I don't know. I'm trying to find a way
that he doesn't.
But I think he just does. So then Maru's up here. And
then it's Solar versus Dream.
And that's my losers match. I think Solar can beat Dream. I think Dream is the first one out on that one. And then again, the tough in my losers fight here would be Solar and Trap. Damn. I think Solar is very good, but I think Trap has been very, very strong as well.
Yeah. Who's been more consistent?
I don't know. I'm not all that too familiar. I know Solar from here and there, but it's a name that very like randomly popped up at the point when I was watching this very frequently. So I don't know. I heard Solar's supposed to be really good now. Like supposedly top 3, if not top 5 of Zerg players out right now. And if you make GSL, I'm going to assume that is the case.
But the same could also be said for Trap.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just have this thing that like Zerg just
isn't what it used to be.
it's not that it's not what it used to be. It's just it's been what it's always been for me. It's just a very hard. It's a very hard race to kind of be really excellent with all the time. And I say that as a Zerg player, even though I sucked at the race, but it's just the level of execution that a Zerg has to have at all times, in my opinion, is a lot higher than everybody else. Because with Terrans and Protoss, when you play against a Zerg, again, you can build walls, you can slow down their aggression a bit, especially their frontal aggression. If it's air, if it's like a sneak attack, it's a sneak attack like anybody else. But if it's for something to prepare an actual defense for Protoss and Terrans, it's easy against a Zerg. You build a couple Raxes, you build pylons, you build buildings, you put one little person in front, you do something to build a wall to stop that frontal aggression. And I think that's where like Zergs just tend to suffer. They don't have any stop. Like there's no way that a Zerg is not going to get harassed. There's no way that you're not going to get some sort of like just...
Because that's how you beat a Zerg.
Yeah, you have to irritate them, you have to separate them, you have to like, and that's... Pretty much, they're like insects. You have to try to control the infestation before it becomes too much.
And Protoss is the best at harass.
What the adepts adept play against, and that's the other thing.
We've seen several Zergs lose
top
to
adept play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Solar is out. I think Trap comes out of that.
Yep.
So I have Trap right. I'm gonna make sure I got this right. Okay, so I got Trap. All right, so we have Maru and Trap coming out of Group C. Who do you have? Same thing, or
no? Maru and Solar.
You have Maru and Solar. So you have
I have the Zerg.
You do have the. This is weird.
All right.
So then we have Group D, which will take place the 25th. That's Saturday, 1 p.m. Korean Standard Time, 9 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time.
I'll go first.
Okay.
So we got Cure versus Stats. And I say Cure wins it there. And then we have Zest versus Rogue. And I say Zest wins it. So then we have the winners match, Zest versus Cure. And even though Cure got second, he got blown out of second. It was a 4-0. Because he just wasn't... He was playing very sloppily. And I feel like... Unless he learned, then Zest is just going to overpower him super easily. And Zest has been really, really good in GSL in general. So that's why I say Zest is first out of Group D. And then it's Stats versus Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be biased.
I mean, there's no bias if the skills are there and it holds true.
If Rogue gets constantly cheesed, I don't think he gets out of this. And with the harassment, Stats is the one that beat Sue with the crazy adepts, right? I'm pretty sure it was.
Let me see. Let me go back. I think I'll go back on my notes. Do you remember which pool that was?
Whichever pool. Oh.
Oops. This one?
Oh,
right here.
Wait. Zest, Jun, Su.
Special.
Okay, so it wasn't Stats. It was Zest.
Let's see. I think Stats was...
Stats? Nope.
Let's see if it's... Maybe it's the second half.
This is still the same group.
Dear G and Dear.
Dream SOS.
And Dream SOS. So no, that wasn't that poll either.
I think it might have been Group B.
Weren't we just looking at that one?
We were looking at Group A.
No, I went all the way down. This is quality TV here, or quality podcasting as we scroll through the notes. Oh, stats played Impact.
Ooh, and I think he did do Adept.
Let me see. Bad start. No dark. No stats.
Impact couldn't overcome the bad start.
Oh yeah, it's stats
GG.
wins.
Yeah.
So then stats played dark, and then. So then dark actually was first.
Yeah. Impact wiped the floor with Estrella.
And then stats versus impact. And then stats came out of losers.
Yeah. The adepts.
Adepts, yeah.
Yeah. So who's to say he's not gonna do the same thing against what's his name? Rogue.
Yes.
So that's why Rogue, I say, is first eliminated. And then it's Cure versus Stats. And if Cure picks up on what he did wrong...
So what was the last one you said that it was Stats versus Rogue?
Yeah.
So then you have Stats beating Rogue and Rogue is eliminated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the final match is Cure versus Stats. And...
So you have Zest coming out of this one already, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So now you're debating between Cure and Stats.
Yeah, and Stats is a good player with everything he does. Cure? Again, second place, but if he learns what he did against Zest, I feel like he has a shot. But again, that shot is a long shot, so I'm going to say Stats gets out of Group D in second place. Now I have my round of 8 bracket.
So you have 2 Protoss coming out. Okay. I think me and you are probably in agreement about who comes out. Probably just not in the place they come up, but let's see. So Stats was the one that was swapped for DRG. So this should have been a TVZ where Cure plays. I think that's the one that Cure wanted. Cure wanted to play a TVZ.
Yeah.
And I think that's why this caused more drama.
Now Cure is mad at TY.
Yeah, that's another person that's mad at him.
For swapping.
I think he didn't want that either. Yeah, because before the pools were set up, he had 2 Zergs on his. I think Stats beats Cure. I think Stats beats Cure. I think... I mean, it's 2 weeks away. He can get over it, being upset and stuff like that. But you know how the announcers like to put in your, how do you feel that this match should have been you versus DRG and blah, 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 blah. Like, they like to, instigate.
They really do.
I think he would have forgotten it by this point, but I think just having it reminded in his head, things going to, just throw him off.
If he watches this, he's going to be reminded, that's the guy that ruined everything. That should be Stats up there, not DRG.
Yeah, I think Stats beats Cure. So then we have Rogue versus Zest. Do we have the same people coming out? I might just change my mind right here, actually. Okay, so no, maybe we don't. So I have Stats beating Cure. I think Rogue beats Zest. So then it's Stats versus Rogue. And I think Stats can beat Rogue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's cool.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
So then I have Stats coming out in D1. And then... Okay, so that's Stats. So I had Stats beating Cure. Rogue beating Zest. Stats beat Rogue. So now it's Cure versus Zest. I think Protoss, for a person that won't play any Protoss, I think is too much. I think he loses to Zest. So I think we have a run back. So then it becomes Zest versus Rogue. And I think this is where Zest beats Rogue.
Yeah.
I think Rogue beats him first, and then I think that Rogue is going to try. I think Rogue is going to win the first one by cheesing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to win, and then Zest is gonna come back and have defense for the cheese. And then I think he's just gonna like death ball or do something very aggressive. And I think he's drops or whatever the case may be. Maybe go into adapt harass or whatever it is. And I think that's how Zest is gonna win. So I do have Zest coming out on the loser side of D. Yeah. So I mean, on mine, I'm gonna have to fix this up. I only have one Zergling coming out of it.
I have 2. Yeah, 2.
I have one, and I think, in my opinion, that's a long shot. It's going to be whether or not she's very, very focused into coming out of that group. If not, there's no Zergs in my pool coming out. That would suck. I would hate to watch top 8 with no Zergs.
That's how it felt for me. There were 11 Protosses coming into the round of 24, and 4 got out.
There's a lot of Terrans.
There's too many. There's 7.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess share how your brackets are breaking down. I'll share mine.
So my round of 8 matchups are TY versus Parting, Scarlet versus Bunny, Maru versus Stats, and Solar versus Zest.
Okay, so for my top round of 8 first matches, I have TY versus Innovation and Scarlet versus Parting. So that's the winner of A versus the loser versus the winners of loser sides on B pool, which would be Innovation in my pool. Scarlet would be the winner of the loser side of A, and then versus Parting, who would be the winners of B pool. That would be a TVT and a ZVP. With TY and Innovation being a TVT. And then for C and D, the winner would be Maru, and in my opinion, be playing the winner of the loser side, and that would be Zest. So we have them swapped.
Yeah.
And then I have Trap coming out of the loser side on C, playing the winner in Stats. Damn.
Yeah. Fairly
Now,
different.
let me see. So if my pool comes to fruition, I wouldn't mind with Scarlet there just to see what Scarlet can do against top tier people.
Yeah.
To see where she's really at. Is it going to be a cheese, or did we allow her? Because everybody was talking mess of the foreigners. Everybody was making fun of Group A. Everybody wanted to go in Group A because they saw that as a definite way that if they couldn't beat TY, they could definitely beat Scarlet. They could definitely beat Special. That was everybody's assumption. I would like Scarlet to kind of put an end to that.
Yeah.
And then see,
even if she does beat a Protoss.
Yeah, I would like to see that. And then if by chance she makes it, I want to see how her skills rank amongst literally the best of the best who've ever played their respective races at any given point in this game's lifespan.
Everything's gonna stop if she makes round of 4.
Oh my god, if she makes round of 4, that'd be so good. I don't even care if she wins at that point, but that'd be so godlike. That'd be so godlike to see her win a top 4 or to get to a top 4. It's a long shot, but it'd be cool. And then on the other side, we have Maru, Zest, Trap, Stats on my pool. Zest. What the hell is Trap? Is Trap a...
Trap's a Terran.
Trap's a Terran.
Protoss.
No, Protoss. So that'd be 3 Protoss in that pool. So in mine's, I have half of the pool, half of round of 8 being Protoss.
So that's all the Protosses I made round of 16.
Yeah, I have them moving on.
I have all of them except for Trap. Yeah, I see him losing to Solar.
Even though I want to be right on this, I hope you're right.
Really? That if Solar makes it to round of 8?
That's why I don't play fantasy football. This is the reason I don't play fantasy football, because I am unrealistically biased towards the San Francisco 49ers at any given point. Don't care if they suck or if they're doing great. That is my team. I don't play fantasy football because then, like, on Sundays, I have to cheer for other people to win that are not the Niners. And like, I always hated like hearing that on Monday, like, oh, how, like if they're from like Boston or they're from like Philly or whatever, like, hey, how'd your team do yesterday? I sucked. Oh, but my fantasy football team won. Like, I don't care about that. Fantasy football means as a fan, Fantasy football means nothing to me. I don't care about fantasy stats. I just want to see the team that I cheer for win. This is why I don't play fantasy football. Because, like, you have to show a very unbiased way of, like, picking. Because if not, I would just have Zerg winning everything all the time. Damn. So out of this,
we have one.
all right. I guess let's see.
Right.
So we have, this is our pull. We'll come back and do round of
8.
round of 4 once this figures out.
Okay.
Because we're at 16 right now, right?
Uh-huh.
Then it'll be 8, and then we'll go see who, and then we'll do another polls for round of 4 when that time comes. But yeah, we've been doing this for like almost 2 hours. It was a 2-hour StarCraft episode, so nothing else to talk about really at this point. I'll merge the stuff together. Oh, you know what? Let me plug this phone in so we can.
I am probably gonna finish my bracket just to fantasize how it all might pan out.
No, don't. You gotta save it. It has to be fresh in your mind. I mean, you can do what you want.
All right.
I'm gonna leave it to be fresh.
Yeah.
Do you wanna place bets on this?
Yes.
We can't say money. We have to say like Slurpees or something.
All right.
But it would all mean money. It's like, no, before the taxes, before the IRS people come. Steaks.
Steaks.
We'll call them steaks.
Steaks.
How many steaks do you want to bet?
What's the value of one steak?
The per pound costage. Or the per pound price.
All right. 20 steaks. Nice round number.
20 steaks? God, what are we eating?
Oh, steak. Steak like the meat.
Yes.
I thought you meant like steaks, like. All right. All right. 5 steaks.
5 steaks. Okay. We'll figure how we translate that
All right.
later. What is the exchange value of 5 steaks? The same as 20 forks. What's the value of 20 forks? Shut up.
What?
All right, yeah. So this is an all StarCraft episode. We'll probably come back before the week is over, and see how we'll slightly catch up. And then there's like more things that I want to talk about, but I'm not gonna make this a 4-hour podcast. Anyways, thank you, my boy, once again for joining me talking StarCraft. This was the super geeky episode for number 13.
Yeah.
We'll see if this is an unlucky number for us, or if it's a lucky number. If we get sponsors or something, if we can get some shirts, some nice shirts, as you can see our chestesses. We can have your logo right here. Make sure there's 3 of them though, because there's 3 in this family. Nobody gets Ohana.
Yeah.
So yeah. So thank you, my boy, for this. We geeked out. I had a load of fun talking and geeking out with you.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad we get to do this. As everybody out there, please, people, wear a mask. This is not no joke. This is very, very serious stuff. I understand it's inconvenient. I understand that it gets on your nerves. I understand that your glasses fog up, that your nose runs, that this, that. Believe me, we understand. But the minor inconvenience of wearing a mask, believe me, as inconvenient as that is, imagine how inconvenient it will be to have COVID just ravage your lungs. You just sitting here listening to this podcast, if you decide to listen to it, would be like working out in the Himalayan mountains. It's just, this is how this stuff makes you feel. It makes you winded, out of breath, until either 1, you're strong enough to recover, or 2, you die. There's no number 3. Even if you heal, there's a chance that your respiratory system has gone through so much trauma that you will be messed up. Please, people, it's super simple. It's
just like our brackets. There's no cure.
Exactly. Leave it to a 15-year-old to make a pun joke here, and a nerdy one at that. And with that, this has been Mo Banter, episode number 13. If you guys want to email or talk to us, please do so at mobanter@gmail.com. That is BANTERPODCAST@gmail.com. Ooh, baby, through the laugh.
Oh, good job.
We'll finish this off as we've done the last 3 episodes with my cousin Single. Lost in My Cup. Again, it's his first official release. You can find it on Spotify, Google Music, on the YouTube. The links will be in the description down below. If you're on the YouTube page, I'm pretty sure I'll link it there. And I also link it on the Anchor FM site. I'm not sure if the links work on Spotify, but hey, support my cousin, please. That's that's like my little brother. We miss the fam, everybody out there, mom, dad, the family in Guatemala, family in Northridge, family in Long Beach, everybody, man, we miss you. Even family in Norwalk, family in the inner city of Watts, wherever you guys are at. If we haven't seen you during this whole quarantine, we miss you guys so much. We wish we could hang out and just hear your voices up close, not over the phone, not over Zoom chat, not over nothing. We want to be with you guys, but I'm not gonna come out here and preach safety and then go out and do something that's unsafe for me and my child and my family. But we love you guys. We miss you. We want to hug you. We want to be able to just hold you in our arms and tell you how much we love you guys. And hopefully soon, whether that's a year from now or a year and a half from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, if that's what soon means, that's what soon means. But you know what? I would rather look forward to that day than having the opposite be true. That there's no point to looking forward to the day because something happened. So we look forward to that day. Hopefully we come to fruition to that day. We love you guys so much. That's all I want to say for that.
Yeah, we miss you. Please wear a mask if you're going out.
Okay. So I love you, my boy.
Love you too.
Mwah. I love you. And with that, again, this was episode number 13 of the Mo Banter podcast. And we're going to play you guys off with some of my cousin's Single. Let me start playing this. Let me raise the volume a little bit. There we go.
There we go.
And again, this is from my cousin How Words. You can find him on the Instagram at how HOW.WORDS How Words. You can find this on the Spotify. You can find it on the YouTube. I'm not sure if it's on the Hulu, but you can find it everywhere. Love, peace, chicken grease. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Try to do it solo, do it the go, and do it lost.
Yeah, I do it with you. When I lose it, doors poor Richard. Yeah, they don't know the situation. Only pages in the bigger picture, pause from the picture or pause of the liquor, yeah. Feels like a Salvador and a killer, yeah. It helps shut the doors and it seals them up. Hope for some more when I fill my cup. I hope that my hope finds hope. And my vital signs on idle. Cause if I don't find hope, I know Bible, there's no time. Moments final. Cause if I don't find hope, that's no sad, those feelings I score. Moving on in slow-mo, happy in a boat, or rather be lost with you. Yeah. They try to do it solo, do it the go, and do it lost with you. Getting lost in my cup, yeah. Getting lost in my cup. You chasing death instead of commas. What example are we setting for our daughters? Think of the good as with Gianna and Black Mamba at the bottom. Keep your head above the water. I don't wanna do this, but I gotta face the horror of death before dishonor. Design a destiny, fuck the pride, I'm a father. It's more than just my problem. Maybe not to blame the way it was brought up. Getting caught up, expectations of my father. Try to mock up the greatness in Nirvana. Instead of shocking and a spinner to control like a shot up helicopter. Hurting but I'm not hurt. Rather have this problem than a doctor. Pushing down the pills, they kill me softly like Lauryn Hill in concert. Tell this bitch called life isn't worth it and I don't even want her. Moving on in slow-mo, happy in a boat, or rather be lost with you. Yeah. They try to do it solo, do it the go, and do it lost with you. Getting lost in my cup.